Hello, guys. Uh, Today, I would like to present to you the deck list that has been asked for a lot on the Nekroz Return Facebook group, and that is my personal version of Kristya and Needle Fiber combo Nekroz. And as you notice, it does not run the usual stuff that you're used to with when you hear needle fiber Necrons. You're used to seeing the desk bots here, like the 001, 003. You're also used to seeing your uh, Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon and Jet Synchrons and whatever, and playing like Colt Wing and stuff. But I found a lot better combo lines, and I shall present them to you today. So this is Kristya Kristya combo Nekroz with 6 extenders, basically. And what those six extenders are, I shall explain now. So first of all, we go over the ratios. We run one Kristya because this is an end board goal. This is blind first, this deck. It doesn't do anything else than blind first unless you play against certain decks, like decks that you actually want to play Nekroz going second against, like Salamangreat. Then we run triple DD Sprite. This is a tech card I found out recently. It is a light fairy tuner, so searchable off Benten, and it is a special summon. And not only is it a special summon, it special summons by banishing a face-up monster you control. And you know which cards you do not want on the field when you special summon tuners, or when you want to go into Halqifibrax stuff. Correct. We can banish incantations and unlock ourselves from incantations just by drawing this. And also because it's searchable via Benton, there are some neat combos you can do where you can search the tuner you need. Then we run triple Tenji Spirit Adhara, also a level 1 special summon tuner, which is very relevant, and it also can be normal summoned. Also, to DD Sprite, the special summon effect is not once per turn. So if you draw double of those and an incantation, you can resolve both incantations and then banish both incantations to get the 2 sprites out and go into Needle Fiber combo without even normal summoning. Yeah, then Adhara is said. And then we run Triple Gale Dagra. This doesn't really have anything to do with any of the tuners, but it is like an alternative route to get to Kristya. And the insane thing is, if you draw this plus any of these 6 cards, you play through Nibiru. And why you play through Nibiru, or you play through almost any single hand trap. Like, if your opponent has Nibiru, you just resolve Gildagra fully, and you don't care. You just special summon Kristya. And if they didn't negate Gildagra, it's mathematically a lower chance for them to have Nibiru. So as a second hand trap, so you are able to go into then your Halqifibrax combo, and your Halqifibrax combo can get you into Kristya plus Borreload Savage, and that without resolving Auroradon. And I'll show the combo in a second, or the combos. Then we run standard incantation ratios, because the incantations are the best way for Nekroz to get to their ritual spells, and it also has the best ritual spell in the game, which is your grind tool. And they make this deck like able to grind a little bit, not as good as Eldritch, but it still is a good grind game against certain decks. If you like combo and your board gets broken, you are not thrown over like the water deck would be, and yeah. Then we play one Mecha Phantom Beast Lion. The only thing you want is special summon from deck. But if you draw this from hand, because we're not playing the Auroradon combo, it doesn't even matter, because you can like bait people into like negating your Halqifibrax. And if you special summon Dongling, which is very likely with the other tuners we're running, you get to just normal summon Olion and then go into the same combo again. One Shuret, because this is technically relevant for the combo. to make Inception Chalice Slime, Incantation Chalice Slime plus DD Sprite full combo. Then we also run one Benton to search our Kristya and search DD Sprite. If you like get your board up, you can search this on turn 3 and then go into Accesscode Talker. And then triple Chalice Slime, triple Brio, 2 Klaus, triple Unicorn, 1 Valk, 1 Trish, and Saravas the Ancient and Ascended. We play this because we have 11 ways to get to this without normal summoning, which is insane. And that means like 9 out of the 12 hand traps that are being played most commonly do not matter against this deck. 9 out of the 15 hand traps. Excuse me, I forgot Nibiru. Yeah, so this is standard Nekroz ratios. I would not change a thing about those. 1 Incantation Inception because it is your grind game ritual spell, and if you can get to this plus any incantation, you can start playing and chewing through boards, which is really good. 2 Cycle, 1 Kaleido. I have been considering running 2 Kaleidos, but 1 Kaleido is enough usually. And then 1 Nekroz Mirror, because we sometimes want to banish Shirt, and we need sometimes more Necros spells. And then for last card, triple Preparation of Rites. This card is, as said, insane, and any Necros list should play it. If you don't play it in your Necros list, you should reconsider your Necros list. For our extra deck, we are running 1 Elder Entity Entus. Because Light Fairy popping tuner, so it makes Geldokra out the Buster Lock. And Kaleido Unicorn into Intus gets rid of problem monsters. Coral Dragon as level 6 target, and as also a Halqifibrax tag out target. This comes up if your Halqifibrax gets negated. Never negate Halqifibrax against this deck. Always negate Linkross. Unless you have Ash, then negate Halqifibrax. 1 Borreload Savage Dragon for the end board, 1 Crystron Quandrax as a Kaleido target that isn't a fairy and is a level 4. And also a Synchro level 4 that you can go into in the combo if you draw DD Sprite and have to Kaleido Unicorn. Then triple Heralds, because you need all 3. 1 Martial Metal Marcher for the combo. Accesscode to break boards. Artifact Dagda for the 1 card Geldokra combo. And like as a generic link to that you can link stuff away in. Area the Water Charmer, the best way in this deck to get to Accesscode is by special summoning opponent's fibers, which is awesome. And also, what you can do is you can like pass on this, and then if your opponent gets rid of this, you can add back a Brio or a Unicorn, which is insane. Then double Halqifibrax because this is Halqifibrax abuse list, and double Linkross because sometimes you need 2. Then for side deck, we're running triple Lancia as the only hand trap. Hand traps in Necroz never were really good, and even with Halqifibrax now, you don't really want to play hand traps because they just are very dead, drawing as a 6th card, and you rather want to have good 6th card draws than yeah, something bad. Then triple Denko. What is really cool about this list is compared to Deskbot Nekroz, you can run Denko Seka, side out the Geldokra, and keep the tuners in. So like you can first drop a Denko Seka and then go into full Halqifibrax combo. If you like have any extender towards that. Then triple evenly because the best trap card in Nekroz. Triple Dark Ruler no more to negate boards, and most importantly negate Appaloosa. And Lightning Storm also to negate to destroy Appaloosa, and also sometimes as back row removal. So this explains the list. Let me do some test hands here. It is probably the most insane Necroz list I've ever played, to be honest. Sometimes, of course, it will brick because it's Necroz, but let's see, like for example, this hand here. We already have full combo here with the stuff. All you need is an extender plus a tuner to go full combo. So like if you want to do this, you use special Adhara and normal sprite, and then you go into this. This hand isn't really excellent, but this shows what this deck usually does here. You always want to get into a level 1 tuner, then special the Olion, and then you go into Linkross here to special 2 tokens. Then you go into Marcher. Marcher gets you Adhara, and Chainlink 2 you get your Mecha Phantom Beast token. And now we have 2 level 4 synchros that we can make. So we make double Herald in here. And because we already have a fairy in graveyard, when we link those away, we have triple fairies in grave. So what we can do here now is synchro for 8 because this Herald is a tuner. Go into Savage, get Halqifibrax. Then you can like decide whatever you want to search. Probably you want to search a Benton in here, or what you actually also want to search here is you want to search Inception and Benton. That is like the best thing you can search for this specific hand. And then you try to go into Candle, get your Talismandra, get your Valkyries. And then you tribute them off with Inception to get your Valk. And then you tribute both. If we didn't hard draw the Kristya, we would search it now. But anyways, even though we did not draw it, we can search instead another DD Sprite. And now we have our 4 fairies in graveyard, which is Sprite plus Herald plus Benton. This is the usual thing what you do when you get Sprite. And if you wanted to like extend, you could also like use the sprites right now and go into even more synchro plays, and you could probably make Accesscode Talker and whatever. This deck is insane. So anyways, we then pass on Kristya, which you always special summon in defense, just in case Lightning Storm hits. Technically, you should also special this in defense, but keep the Valkyries in attack position. I know you're not playing around Tackle Crusader, but this is way better. Also, like, if you had like an extender, you could have also instead searched for here your Soravas to like protect yourself from an extra Imperm or from Tackle Crusader. This is what the deck usually does. And let me show now what Gildakra plus this plus Adhara does, which is absolutely stupid. So here we got Gildakra. This hand would be insane, by the way. So let's get into Adhara plus Gildakra. So you special Adhara, normal Gildakra. If your opponent does anything funny, you just like send or like if he doesn't want to, if he holds like a nib, you go this way. Then you get yourself heralds, and then with the heralds you can get yourself the Brio and the Benton. But let's say they would have impermed this, and I wouldn't have this have had the Soravas. Then we would just like instead of that go into the same Halqifibrax combo. But if he doesn't negate it, we just play around Nibiru. So he needs a hand trap to stop this. Or he needs 2 hand traps to stop this, because either you play around Nibiru, or you play around Imperm, Ash, etc. The only thing that is really worth it to Ash in this combo, and usually nobody will be that patient, is to Ash the Cyber Angel Benton. But even if they would like Ash it right now, we could still get it back, which is also really cool. So like you will always need 2 hand traps for a Gildagra plus Atara, or the Gildagra plus the um the DD Sprite, because then you can Inception, do full combo, and then you're absolutely golden. If we wanted to, we're right now at 4 summons, at 3 summons. We could go into some extra synchro plays or so, but or like we could go here into Dawn Dragster if we wanted to, or Zeta, or whatever. We could also make a synchro 10 technically, or a synchro 9, I mean, and go for Trish. We could go for a lot of things, but because we want Kristya on board, we're going to link those two away for our artifact Dagda, and then you link this into or like you would actually link the Brionac away, because you would want to play around Nib right now, or you want to play around certain things right now, just in case. And then you would drop this, and then your opponent would be out of the game. But if they like negate the Galdakra with their imperm, which they should, you just like continue going the needle fiber combo, which is insane. And the nice thing that this deck does, compared to the regular Deskbot deck, is you play around hand traps way better, and your hands generally are better in this deck. Because like here, I can resolve this, I can get myself a Brio, and then without normal summoning, here, with this hand, without normal summoning, just look at this. This is going to be absolutely retarded. You banish this to get yourself a Sprite, then you banish this to get yourself the second Sprite, and then you got Halqifibrax combo. And like, if they negate Halk here, which they should usually, or like actually you should not negate Halk against this, but if they have Ash, they have to Ash the Halk now. Then you just normal summon the Mecha Phantom Beast, and then do the same combo again. Unfortunately, we currently have 4 fairies in graveyard after we resolve Double Herald, so we will have to find a way to get back a fairy here. Well, anyways, this explains usually how this deck works. I think it's the best Nekroz going first build that there is. There is probably nothing better than this, unless I missed a couple of cards. This outperforms the Deskbots, this outperforms almost everything. If you guys have any questions about this deck, for example, like budget options, I will answer for now that you can, instead of playing Savage, play Dragite. Because you're playing a lot of waters, you can run this. Or you could also run a couple of other cards in this. You should be usually really strong in this deck. You could also, if you don't feel comfortable with Galdakra, just run Manjus, and then run some rank 4 stuff here instead of the second Hulk. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the deck profile and wreck some people with this. Actually, before I end the video, I can show you guys how a couple of combos have been done. So here I run. I'm looking for the one where I ran against Nib. Here, this probably is the one where I fought versus Nib. Yeah, this is the one where I played through Nib. And this basically shows how this deck works, usually. So I was fully aware that there was the possibility of him playing Nib, so I decided to not normal summon or special summon the Adhara, and instead I wanted to get the Benton out to like to bait him into like nibbing me, but he wouldn't nib if I would have the Benton here. And the reason is because Nib triggers Benton. You can play around that. Then he nibs me. I was pretty much expecting it because a lot of people on Duelingbook are running Nibiru main. And now look what happens. He gives me a token, I go Halq combo. Because I didn't even normal. Then double heralds into Dragite, into this. Then yeah. And then we have Valk in hand just in case. And we just make sure that he cannot run over the over our Kristya with Nib by Valking. And we fortunately draw a Geldagram, which basically wins us the game because we can out-nib without getting rid of our Dragite. If we would have had Savage, which is why you play Savage, we could have just ran over it without the Dogra. But anyways, this is how we played through Nib and gave him an end board that he could not out. So this like explains it all. Unfortunately, this duel was only one game long, but it explains how this deck works. And also, I shall quickly show how this works versus versus back row decks. Quickly, just need to quickly find the correct replay. This is not it. This is a replay where I draw exceptionally well after siding. So I can like show you how this goes out. So this is versus Unchained. And he just does standard combo. I know now that he has the pop card, which targets, by the way. I was lucky to draw Saravis, which was MVP in this specific hand. Then I go here for this combo. And he decides, because I would drop Collider Unicorn, he decides to link away my Pensaplume to go into a monster. And he cannot go into Unicorn because he knows that my card that is going to hit the field is going to negate the Unicorn. So he just goes into his Anguish, and I go into a Halqifibrax combo, and yeah. Then this explains how this works. Anyways, I am going to end this video for now. If you have any questions about this deck, question me in the comments. See ya.